In your opinion, are graduates fresh out of college readily employable? If not, is the industry ready to invest in their training?
It's a fact that only 20% of the graduates passing out are actually employable. 80% of them are not. They are not employable. And actually what has happened that in our education system in the past, they thought that engineering colleges should only give you the basics of everything, so that thereafter one is free to take up whatever domain he or she has to take. So those were like kind of a preparatory syllabus which will prepare you for further life. So they were not end in all, they were just a first step that, okay, we teach you all the basics and then you are on your own. So with that approach, while there was a lot of theory, there was a lot of mathematics, a lot of physics, a lot of everything, academic, but there was very little practical touch on what you are supposed to do as engineer once you come in the field. Okay. And there were diverse areas, of course. A mechanical engineer can go, big range of jobs with entirely different competency requirements. So it was actually never possible for engineering colleges to focus on those competencies in great detail. So they just like touched pillars, a little bit of this, little bit of that, and that's it. There you are. Right. Now it was incumbent on industry to groom the person as per their specific requirement. Now, industry also, there were different approaches seen. Like big companies used to have a GET scheme where they will recruit from campus en masse. Big organizations did that, and even today they are doing that. So when they recruit a person, they are not entirely clear what will be his or her job profile eventually. So they are recruited and they join as an army of some 100, 150 recruits. And HR doesn't know what to do with them. So initially they have some orientation training and something like that. After that, they are just tossed around in different assignments, rotational assignments, so to say. And rotation of 3 months or 6 months or 2 or 3 years like that, they are rotated. By the time either they quit or wherever they land, they finally land there. And then they pick up the trick of trades and start moving on from there. So as such, industry also never had a great idea of what they should do with the fresh recruits. As against that, in smaller companies, of course, the roles are clearly defined. The deliverables are clear from day one. And it is expected that the person will start performing from day one. And they try to find somebody who does not require training, who will just come and start doing it. Because probably there is nobody who can train them. And they don't have the wherewithal and resources to train them also. So that is another point. So it was always like somebody is thrown into a swimming pool, then he or she learns swimming on his own. And nobody is actually there to chart your career or make a career plan for you, that what you should be after 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years. Okay. This is a question most popularly asked in interviews by HR guys. But the fact is that in the organization, there is nobody who is mentoring for that or who is monitoring that or who is planning for that. There is no such thing like that. So the fellows are taken because neither the organization is sure nor the candidate is sure how long they will stay together. So it's marriage of convenience for a short while. So they just come, they do something. If they stay around, then they are taken somewhat seriously and given some delta inputs further. Otherwise, they quit and that's the end of it. Right? But as such, there is no planned career progression or competency development plan with HR for individuals where you are systematically groomed into taking a particular role in the organization. So that happens by the dynamics of the organization, whatever way things turned out to be eventually. So it's like Jahangirabad. In my hometown, Bhopal, there is a place called Jahangirabad. And we say that it is called that Jahangirabad because Jahan gira wahi abad. People are just tossed wherever they land. That's where they start growing. Right? So in the jobs also, it is pretty much the same. Recruits are taken and then just tossed, and wherever they land, they find their way and fend for themselves after a while. And organization only periodically takes a stock of who is available, like head count. Okay. Livestock count is not a decent word, but then that's what they do. And then it's interim planning at that point what to do. But it happens in incremental steps. It's not a holistic thing ever.